Okay, I'm going to draw the lid of this project now. So we're getting used to creating that new component. We'll call it lid. And we are going to add another component to that to create a little sub-assembly. And we're going to make these all in separate parts again. So just the next step up. This one shouldn't be too hard. So let's call it long edge. So this one here we're going to sketch on this top outermost part just there. And we are going to draw, sorry, we'll use the line tool actually. Draw oval line, and come up and go escape, select the line again, come up and join the two together. These two lines we want parallel, and between there and there we want it to be 19mm. It's going to look a little bit smaller than you expect when you do this, but that's what we want. So once we've got that, we'll finish the sketch and we'll extrude. We'll select that profile and we'll pull that up to 42mm. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a little rebate on top. So select the top surface and click Create Sketch. We're going to draw a line from that position to this position. We need to dimension that out. We're going to do it 7mm. We may change this a little bit when we make the practical woodwork component, but for the sake of the CAD model, 7mm is going to be fine. This is a little rebate that we're going to add to house or to kind of hold the plywood lid that's going to be on top. So the plywood's 3mm, cut that in 3mm. So we need two of these. We're going to copy this component and paste it into the lid. It's a direct paste, not a paste new. I'm going to pull this one over and we're going to rotate it. So once you've rotated it, we can highlight the overall box project, and you can see I've rotated it in a way that this is underneath. So we don't really want that. If you need to rotate a component again, you can highlight it and click this Move and Copy tool. I think I grabbed the wrong handle when I moved it, so this one here will pull it back so that rebate is facing inwards. I wouldn't worry too much if you don't get it right to the 180. Sometimes it's a bit confusing if you leave it like that, but we need to constrain it to this part anyway, so that will kind of pull into shape when we do that next time. So we'll do it now actually. So join, capture position. I'm going to select the outside bottom of this piece. I'm going to flat at the bottom. I'm going to tell it where it's going to sit on this one. So I'm going to do it to that position there and click OK. So you can see I've got the rebates facing each other. The next part I'm going to do is the piece that fits in here. So we need to insert a new component. We're going to draw a sketch on this position here, and we're going to draw a line between that position and this one, this side. So I want it to connect to that, but I'm going to drop it a little bit short. Now this is where it gets really tricky because I can't see this full edge here, so let's draw it the best we can. I'm going to make the two lines parallel to each other. I'm going to make the two lines 19mm apart from each other. I'm going to come back to this side here and we want them collinear, so this one and this one. You can see there's a bit of a gap here, but that's because it steps down as a rebate. So to finish the sketch, we're going to extrude this one down to create a new body. So 42 millimeters. Last thing to do again is to do that extra line down. So we want to do it, I can't remember if it was 7 or 8 millimeters from the edge. We'll have a look when we add the dimension here. Seven looks like it lines up nicely. The parallel constraint went on when we did this, so sometimes those automatically appear. I'm going to finish that sketch. We're going to cut away -3. And check if it's going in the right direction and it's actually cutting. So it is. And we're going to now call this one short edge. And we're going to duplicate it. And paste it into that lid assembly. So we'll drag it across this side. We'll flip it around. So remember, you need to flip it on the correct edge because that rebate's going to cause us trouble otherwise. It wasn't on that side, so do it again. Handle here. That's right. So, and we can use the join feature. I'll try from the outside corner this time. Not sure if this is going to work from the outside corner, but we'll give it a go. I'll cancel that. Let's try again. Sometimes you're better off starting afresh if you can't see how it's going to join. So let's select the bottom first. Now the way I've done this, the lid's not going to open, unfortunately. What we could do is we could delete these constraints that I put on, and we can join it from the sides and then get it to pivot from one side, but it's not essential to get it to join at this stage. So that's our lid done. I'll quickly show you how to do the plywood insert too, because that's pretty quick and easy. Just going to create a new component. We can name this one up lid plywood. I'm going to create a new sketch, and I'm going to sketch it on this surface here, so this little surface. Once you've created the sketch, you can finish it straight away. Extrude, I'm going to pull the extrusion outwards. We're going to come to this side, and we're going to change the extent to object. And we're going to click that side and click OK. So that's our plywood already inserted in there too. Don't forget to do a save, and you can view your project with a little activation bubble there. Minimize your lid, and that's our project pretty well done. The only thing we haven't put in is a base, but we've got the plinth there ready to cut a base to size. Maybe give the base a go yourself. I'd be adding it into this sub-assembly, so you can create a new component for your base. If you'd also like to try and get your lid to pivot, delete all the joins or joints associated with the lid. and so you have to go up to the joints here. You have quite a few, but anything associated with the lid, delete that, and rejoin the lid to itself. So just using the edges. Also make sure you join the plywood in too, because that's just a floating component at the moment. And you can get the lid to pivot on one of the edges here.